G'day, I'm Glenn Morris from the Smart Energy Lab, and today in the lab I've got Rex from Growatt. G'day Rex.
Hello, g'day.
How are you going over there?
And everything's fine.
What's this box here?
All right, and this is our latest AC EV charger, and this one is the biggest one. Our biggest one we have is a 22 kilowatt three-phase smart AC EV charger.
And it comes in a range of sizes, I see. It says on the side here, 7 kilowatt, 11 kilowatt, and 22.
Yeah, 7 single phase, 11 three-phase, 22 three-phase.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got the 22 kilowatt three-phase, I presume you can still charge cars that only have a lower rating?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Just cut this open. And, whoa. Okay. So I think we'll just put this on the table. Do you want to pop these components on the table?
Yeah.
So how do we lift this out?
Because our cable is connected to the EV charger.
Right, so we've got a quick start information there.
Yeah, manuals over there.
Some, and we've got some. Wait. All right. Get rid of that. Ooh, that was the bracket.
Yeah.
And do you want to lift that part out?
Yeah, sure.
Hold this.
All right.
Okay. It's quite a sturdy unit. Wow. It's a very sturdy unit. And in fact, I'm going to get the bracket, which I threw away. Well, that was a quick unboxing.
I didn't expect that.
Let's get it fully out. Right. Okay. So, oh my gosh, it's got both a tethered cable.
Yep.
But on the side here, we've got a socket.
Yep.
It's a parking socket, isn't it?
Yeah. So this one is obviously because now there's two types. One is where ends with P, that means plug,
Yep.
and it's socketed, that means socket. But for Australia, I think we already we have most of the car use a Type 2 plug.
Yes. Type 2 pretty much is now the standard for Australia.
Yeah.
I know North America have got a complicated setup, but
That's what I heard.
yep. So that's a parking. So we can just store it like this.
Yeah.
I guess you can also hang your cable on this bracket.
Exactly. That's,
Yep.
Yes, that's made for the cables.
Yep.
You can put it all together like this. Because these cables are very heavy.
It's very solid.
Yeah.
I mean, the cables alone are cost a fortune. I know if you don't have a cable with your EV charger, there's a few $100s just for a cable.
At least.
At least. Yeah. All right. So let's have a look at the features of this unit. Straight up, I can see that you've got a screen.
Yeah, LCD screen.
And you get information about the
charging rate and how much power, what's the capacity, and how much electricity have been charged. And if you use it for commercial, it will automatically give you the price, how much you spend, things like that.
Oh, right. So you can put billing information on there.
You can do that. Use it because now this one is for residential and commercial. Both of them.
So it can both be a residential and a commercial system. Now, in the kit here, in a little bag, we've got our installation guide, but I can see what I imagine is the RFID card.
Yep.
Fairly innocuous. You can put your own branding, I suppose.
Yes, radio frequency identification, and it's like do shopping in Walmart.
Yep. Yeah. It's your customer card. Yeah. So tapping this on can unlock it.
Yep.
So let's just talk about some of the features. I've got a little summary here on my iPad. So first up, it says driven by solar. What does that mean?
So obviously, it's something because not first and first, and we are a solution provider, smart solution provider, which means we integrate our solutions into one. It's one combination. So obviously, these inverters can work with Growatt. This AC charger can work with Growatt inverters, Growatt batteries, and also work with smart meters as well. That means you can only charge your electrical vehicle with 100% of the solar energy.
Right. So if you've got a Growatt inverter, Growatt battery, and a Growatt meter, the system has total visibility about energy in your home,
Exactly. And where it comes, where it goes.
where it comes and where it goes. And so this is the biggest load most people will ever have
Yeah.
is their electric vehicle charger. Fun fact, people, these are actually technically called EVSE, electric vehicle supply equipment, but it's such a mouthful, everyone just calls them EV chargers.
Yeah, exactly.
And having that driven by solar concept is obviously solar is the cheapest form of energy.
Exactly.
And so you can choose that as your priority to charge your car.
Exactly. So now, right now, the feed-in tariff is very low. I mean, rather than sell back to the grid, and you can just keep it to your electrical vehicle to charge your electrical. That means you probably whenever you drive, it's probably cost nothing. Probably I don't know, much cheaper than petrol.
Yes. It is. I can tell you from experience.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to a petrol station is to pump my tires up.
I can tell that. Well, so obviously, so right now it's Australia. First, Australia is get plenty of the solar potential.
Yes.
And also, why do not the power generated from your old rooftop? Why don't you use it for free?
Yes.
Rather than paying. So now you buy from the electrical grid electrical company, probably cost you like I don't know, right now 30-40 cents per kilowatt hour, and you sell it back right now it's in Melbourne maybe 7 cents.
Yeah, it's not much. It's yeah. So the motto really is use solar yourself.
Yeah.
Don't give it to the grid because it's almost giving it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot see that, but it's it's something. It's another application that can maximize your solar usage.
Now, next on the list it says compatible with all EV brands.
Yeah, so obviously this is a Type 2 and Type 2 plug, and whenever if just hypothetically say if you do not have the solar system, and there's no need to install a smart meter, which means put an AC in, AC out. This one will charge all the electrical vehicle as long as it's a Type 2 plug.
Yeah. So it actually you can just have the Growatt EV charger by itself.
Yeah.
But you get more benefit if you have the full system.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, it is interesting that you say compatible with all brands of EVs. Some of the older EV chargers, the communication pins on here are software controlled. And some of the older ones I found, like for instance, my Tesla won't charge with one of the older chargers. They have to update the firmware.
No need for Growatt. This one.
No problem for Growatt.
Yeah, we already tested it.
That's great. Now, you've also got this suite of features known as smart management. And top of the list is multiple working modes. Now, what's that?
That's something I want to emphasize here is because now we have many working modes. First, like a fast charge. For faster charge, that means any AC source, either from the grid, it can charge from grid or from solar or from other part also or from diesel generator, and it will be all the power will charge the electrical vehicle as long as there's any other AC power, it will charge the electrical vehicle. And the second one is very unique one, what we have PV linkage mode. For PV linkage mode, is our inverters and our battery system, and we'll talk with this EV chargers, and it will only use solar to charge the electric vehicle.
Ah, right. So the rate of charge will go up and down with the solar.
Yeah.
And considering that the day is long, you'll probably charge the car eventually, but you won't use any grid power at all.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's and the third one, what we call the off peak hour. So obviously some of the place or some of the commercial scenarios probably have the peak and off peak price for electricity, and you can always do the settings on your app and to charge the electrical vehicle at the off peak hour during the night. I mean,
yes, often it's like 1 a.m. in the morning. You don't want to get up at 1 a.m. and plug your EV in. You just want to use the app.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of the app, you've actually got an app.
We do. And the app is just like our standard inverters, our standard batteries. The app is we integrated this EV charger in our Shine Phone app. You can download it from iOS or Google Play, and it's called a Shine Phone. It's exactly the same with our inverters and batteries.
So if you've got a Growatt inverter, you've got it connected to your Shine Phone app. You can then connect the EV charger as well, and it will just appear.
Yeah, and but you must have a smart meter to monitoring the PV side, the PV inverter.
Right. Now, with the app, can you also control the EV charger?
Yes, and for that app, as I said before, you can change the working mode and like off-peak hours, and also change it to like a PV linkage mode.
Yes.
And all this fast charge mode. It's all being presetted. All you have to click.
Right. So you could be preferencing off-peak most of the time, but then suddenly you have to go somewhere in 2 hours' time and you want fast charge.
Exactly.
And you can do that from your phone.
Yeah, just
Tap, tap.
tap.
Oh, that's great. So it's also got RFID. We've mentioned that.
Yep.
The fact that you can use the app to activate it from different work modes.
Yep.
Plug and play, I guess, means you can make it into a simple charger that when you plug in, it'll charge your car.
Yeah,
Right?
that's very yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to have any special conditions.
Yeah.
Now, the third point on the list here, smart load balancing. What's that?
So obviously for smart load balancing, that hypothetically say if your house like have two electrical vehicles,
Yes.
and so obviously you have to install two of this one, and so obviously this two of this charger cannot work at a full capacity simultaneously. So obviously this one will balance. No.
So let's say you've got two cars that can charge at 22 kilowatts.
Yep.
44 kilowatts is more than most home supply.
Yeah.
But they'll share the supply.
Yeah.
Got
They do to the maximum, but they will share probably not at like 44, but
Yeah.
they will share the maximum capacity that your house, three-phase house can do.
Yeah. And it could actually be down to the wiring in the house. So you may only have a 32 amp supply to your garage. And so that's the limiting factor, is the cables. And so you can set that as your maximum draw so you don't trip the breaker when the second car plugs in.
This is jobs for a regulator like you.
No, look, really, people are sort of excited to have an electric car and they get a charger, but soon it'll be all your cars.
Yep.
And most Australians have more than one. So having that smart load balancing is really essential.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'll have to play, can you unplug your car so I can plug my car in? Yeah.
That's because right now electrical vehicle is growing really fast, and I think there's greater potential, especially for Australia. Because Australia got the right now petrol prices is still very high, and also another one is Australia. Most of I cannot say most, but at least half of the Australian people live in the house with a roof. So which means you can harvest your solar power.
Yes.
With all this solar power, you have to use it eventually.
Yes. Yes. For those who are not aware, Australia has the highest per capita rooftop solar in the world. Exactly. And that's basically a third of all homes have solar. And it's free energy. You might as well use it to charge your car. Now, in terms of communication, this can connect to the cloud, right? So to the, for the ShinePhone app.
Yep.
And what are the ways it can connect?
So obviously you can use Wi-Fi as the most standard one, and the second is 4G and 2G GSM. Yes, 2G GSM, I think.
Yep.
And that's mainly the three most.
And it also says LAN, so you can, if you don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's in the communication port over here. Yeah, over here you can also use the internet cable if it's too far away from your Wi-Fi router, or if the
like you might be in a duplex and the Wi-Fi's up top and the garage is down bottom and there's a big concrete floor and it doesn't get through.
Yeah,
you can always just do wide monitoring, so that gives you the full range. Now, in terms of safety and reliability, one of the things that a lot of new installers of EVSEs don't realize is that there is actually a safety requirement. Now, that safety requirement can determine whether you have to put in a Type B RCD, which are very expensive, or if the charger, like the Growatt charger, meets an IEC standard, you only have to put a Type A in.
Yeah, this one only had to put a Type A RCD.
So that's a big saving. That means just a standard Type A, and if you're not familiar with Type A, that means it can take up to 6 milliamps of DC current, because this has the sensitivity built to detect higher levels of DC current and automatically disconnect. So that's a really good feature. Now, look, is this suitable for going outdoors?
Yes, this one's IP65, and you can put it outdoor. But based on my experiences, do not put it direct under sunshine or rain.
Yeah.
I mean, even IP65. Right now, most of our inverters and batteries are IP66. We also I mean, otherwise in our installation manual, also with something you cannot put it just under direct sunshine.
Yes. I mean, really, that's a basic for most equipment. That heat and sun are not a great thing to have, especially when you've got a screen. You don't want it to fade in the sun. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got this little bar on the front here. What's that?
It's like this one is more like the light of the indicators.
Yes.
And it's showing it's working. And
Oh,
also,
okay.
yeah, it's
So from a distance, you can see that it's charging.
yeah,
or
it's working
ready.
or not. It's charge is finished or it's still charging. You can take a look at this one.
Now you've got a little feature on the side here. What's this button on the side for?
So this button is the forced to start or stop or emergency emergency stop for this one. It's just like
So you don't need the app. You can just press that button.
yeah, just in some emergency situation.
Yeah.
You need because save people alive or something. I don't know.
It could just be you want to take the car quickly and you don't want to get your phone out and turn off the charge. You can just press that button.
Yeah. Because now there's obviously to have the mechanical buttons. It's
Yeah.
good. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, that's fabulous. Well, and looking at the bottom here, bottom entry, we love bottom entry. That means no water gets in for your connections.
Exactly.
So you've got power and comms.
Yeah, communication. Yeah, RS485.
Yeah, all right. And so the RS485 communication, what's that for?
It's for the smart meter, and also for like the LAN.
So you've got an Ethernet cable as well. So
Yeah.
you'd have two if you had wired Ethernet and RS485 going to the meter.
Yeah, to the meter. As I think because right now most people may use Wi-Fi. I think, and it's mainly for the meter.
Yeah. Yeah, so that means that meter goes at the main switchboard, which might be quite a distance away. So you run a data cable.
Yeah, the maximum of the meter, I think right now, it's even you use a data cable. We have standard data cable for our meter is 15 meter, and the maximum you can go as long as 100 meter.
Yes, that's the basically the RS485 standard, 100 meters on Cat5 and above. Yeah.
You are the expert.
So yeah, 100 meters is a long way.
Exactly. I mean, it should be enough.
Should be enough. Yeah. Well, that's great. And look, basically this is it. So you've got your wall mounting plugs,
Yeah.
you've got your RFID card,
Yeah.
and you've got your installation instructions in the packet here. And I guess this will tell me things like wiring up the meter. Looks like it does.
If some of the installers or electricians outside do not have time to reading books,
Yep.
can always go to YouTube and search for Growatt Solar EV charger. We already have all the details in the in our YouTube channels, from step 1 to the finish.
Right, so the installation instructions are actually on a YouTube video.
Yeah, as well. It's not it's a video. It's not a manual, but it will tell you. It's with a video. It will tell you from step 1 to the end.
Right. I'll put a link in the description so you can watch that video. Actually, I might even put a card to it up here. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great idea because so many people are visual learners,
Yeah.
and having to sit down and read a book, it's easy just to get your phone out and go, oh yeah, that's right, I've got to do that.
Installers' time is very precious. So
Very
we
precious.
We want to save times for all of the installers, and that's obviously the concept is pretty simple. We do the best to reduce the installation time.
Now, if they do have a problem like that they can't solve by watching the YouTube video or reading the manual, can they call Growatt?
Yeah, so our 1-800 478. Sorry.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
You probably don't call your own support line very often.
I can speak in Chinese, so a little bit. No. 1-800 478 926.
Right. Got it. And like I said, it'll be in the description. So you can actually call support. But look, recommendation is you should be reading the manual or watching the video first. Yeah. Just give the guys on support a bit of a break. Take some initiative to learn how to do it. Yeah. But really, these are pretty simple to install. So all you need is single or three-phase power.
Yep.
Everything else is optional. Like the meter, that's an optional feature. It'll still work without the meter.
Yep.
It's just you won't be getting all the smart functionality.
Yes, I mean if you do not need the smart functionality, just use it as a typical AC charger, and use a AC grid connected to the power underneath, and it will be like.
Now, if we've got want the smart solar function, will it only work with Growatt inverters? The smart solar?
No, it's not. It's actually compatible with all the existing solar system, solar inverter. Because now the concept for that is pretty simple. You do the smart meter. The smart meter will calculate the power coming from the existing solar system, and regardless any communication, kind of just it will just count on the power rather than the real
Right.
communication.
So it doesn't need to literally talk to the inverter. It just sees the power flowing the wrong way
Yep.
and goes, whoa, we can use that to charge the car.
Exactly. That's that's an easier explanation for that.
Well, that's great. I can't wait to get this up on the wall and charge my car with it.
Right. And once again, as I mentioned before, our service number is 1-800-476-928. It's because something wrong with my translation. I can speak in Chinese for that number smoothly, but I had to do a little bit of translation for the English.
Well done, Rex. Well, thanks very much. Anyway, good to have you in the studio. Okay.
Appreciate it.